Hey, what's up guys, it's ElasticSpyder here, and I just want to start off this video with this kind of screenshot, and I just want to say thank you to all you guys who do send in replays, and if you don't send in replays, send it to BIAworldofwarships at gmail.com, and I just want to mention, like, over the last 15 days, we've gotten about 15, 20 replay submissions, and I just want to say thank you guys for all your help, and even just, you know, giving us the opportunity to showcase your games, and we really do appreciate it. I do try and watch every single one of these, and kind of choose the one that I like the most and the one that I think is the best YouTube worthy, I guess, content. And I hope you guys do enjoy these community replays. At the end of the day, it is what, what you're showcasing. So I just want to also point out that, maybe not every time your replay gets, you submit a replay, and not every time it gets selected for our Saturday community replays. I just do want to make sure you guys are aware that we do get a lot of email submissions, and you just got to keep trying, and maybe one time it's going to be your special day. You never know when it will be, so always just keep sending them in, and we'll always keep taking a look at them, and we really do appreciate how many you actually do send in. But let's get into today's replay. So we're looking at a community replay. As I've said before, send it to BIAworldofwarships at gmail.com. Please include any of the screenshot, or all the screenshots you can, obviously, the replay itself for obvious reasons, and then a short description of what occurred throughout the battle. That is also, very helpful for us to kind of filter out the good replays, I guess, and maybe like the match analysis, for example. And if you want to send one of those in, feel free to send it in with, the aforementioned stuff, and also, put somewhere in the title that you want it to be analyzed by either Sneaky Snake, myself, that sort of thing. So, that said, we're looking at a replay from TheDwarfLard. TheDwarfLard. He is playing in his in a division with Pure Feeds. They are both in the clan Rushbeat, which is a pretty good clan, if I do say so myself. And we're playing in the Zao, and his buddies in the Yamato, so bit of a weeb division, I guess you could say. So the Zao is one thing that, it's one of those ships that I've kind of grown on. At first, I thought it was a pretty good ship. It was an alright ship. It was, for me, it was, your average, basically the pinnacle of that Japanese line. But I didn't really like the Japanese play style for the large majority of my playthrough. When oh god, 1.5, 2 years ago, almost at this point, when I was first playing the ship and this line, it was just something that didn't, I guess, fit my playstyle as much as I would like, or had liked. So for me, it wasn't very spectacular in the beginning. But now that, well, over the last probably couple months, I would say, it has grown on me tremendously, and this is probably, oddly enough, one of my favorite tier 10s at the moment, and this just has so much versatility. Like, nearly 4 cannon destroyer, and we only got 5 hits. Like, we probably would have gotten another 6-7 hits had that Hirakaze had more HP. So it's slowly growing on me as one of my favorite tier 10 ships. And at this point, now that we see that Wargaming is probably going to buff this ship and give it 12-kilometer torpedoes, I'm just loving life with this ship right about now. Now, for the majority of clan wars, and King of the Sea and other competitive aspects, I love playing this ship. Most of the time I was put in the Hindenburg, and I love that ship too. It's I guess a more easier cruiser to play. But the Zao, it's I wouldn't say situational, but it has these situations where it just excels, and it's kind of crazy at times when you think about it. And one thing that we see here is the strong AP, and even at max range, you can still citadel other high tier cruisers, and that is something that is incredibly powerful. And I guess you know, something like a Hindenburg, yeah, you can on occasion do it. And it's more of, I guess, luck and based on RNG than anything. But I do think it is interesting that this ship is getting a buff, considering, in my opinion, how good it is already. But either way, this ship is got great AP. We're already showcasing it here. We got 3 citadels on the Shapayev already. On this Otago, we're probably gonna get a couple more. Like, even if he's angled like 6.5K, what? He's angled at like 30-40 degrees, and you're getting 6.5K with this AP. You know, when you think of good AP cruisers, you think of like Moskva or maybe even like Des Moines to an extent. And I mean, this ship is just amazing. Like 2 citadels, 17K. Like that's battleship numbers almost. And since it does have 12 guns, it just feels so dirty to play in this ship. It's just incredible. So besides a hard hitting AP, and it does penetrate, you know, all the way out to max range, which is very nice, and it has great velocity as well. It also has incredible HE, some of the best, actually probably the best HE rounds in the game for a cruiser, that is. And it is very strong in that aspect. Its HE and fire chance is quite good. And oddly enough, here we're actually running rate of fire on our Zao, which is something that I didn't even like consider. I've always, since I got the Zao maybe 2 years ago, 1.5-2 years ago, I've always run range mod on it. And now that I think about it, it's 16.2 kilometer range. It's not that bad to run with. The Zao does have good armor for its tier and for its class. It's, I guess, troll armor, if you want to say that. Troll armor that is just, it is just so frustrating. Like, for the most part, like a lot of cruisers, like if you're in this position, most cruisers just don't pen you. Like, I think the only thing that maybe, you know, is pretty effective is possibly Moskva. Definitely Henri for sure, just because of the caliber and the alpha damage of those shells. The Henri does kind of, I guess, counter the Zao a little bit and its armor. Moskva kind of with the shell speed. But other than that, like, you know, Des Moines, a lot of times when you're just cutting away in the Zao, it just does not even affect. Like a Des Moines, like to a Zao cutting away, it's like, it's nothing. The same with the Hindenburg. Hindenburg versus Zao cutting away one-on-one. I mean, it's a little bit closer of a fight just because Hindenburg has better HE. I say that relative because pound for pound, Zao HE has more alpha and, you know, that sort of thing, and better fire chance. But with Hindenburg's rate of fire, it just takes over. But if we're going simply AP, the Hindenburg has really nothing on the Zao when it's in this kiting position. Even when it's advancing like this and chasing cutting enemies, like the Zao is one of the best cruisers to do this in. You know, while the gun angles aren't spectacular, it does have great maneuverability and great turning, like quickness of turning. There's a special word that I'm missing right now. It can't come to my head, but the quickness that you turn is just what I'm gonna say. It is just so good on the Zao that, you know, the Hindenburg or other cruisers, when you're kind of pushing them, sometimes they just don't, you know, they can't get good shots off with their AP, and, you know, along with the troll armor, it does help the Zao quite a bit. Now, personally, I probably wouldn't use Hydro, but I guess with this playstyle you have, which is actually a very interesting one, I would have never thought about putting RPF or a long range target acquisition or something, where you can see if someone's shooting you at longer range. I never would have thought to put this on the Zao. especially with reload and hydra. This is like, to me it seems like it's one of these combinations. It's like when you play, for example, like maybe a sport or something, and when you're at a good, a good solid level of competitiveness of that sport, and you can kind of, if you're going against someone one on one that is on the same caliber as you, it's a lot of times it's somewhat difficult to maybe beat them or what have you. But when you run, and then if you go and play like someone that is maybe less, I don't want to say less skilled, but doesn't have a traditional play style, it really throws people off, and it makes it severely more difficult for that person to actually beat them. And I think this is the case here. Like, I don't expect a Zao to have RPF, long range, target acquisition or whatever. Now we don't have target acquisition here because we full concealment, but and like reload, and hydra, I just don't ever expect this. So having this combination is actually, I don't want to say it's deadly, but it's deadly. And we can see there by getting our second kill of the game and our sixth citadel of the game. And we're going to send some torpedoes out. But it's oddly deadly. You get into a position where you can just... your opponents expect one thing. It's like, okay, it's Zao. It probably has like range mod, 13, 14 seconds, with AR or whatever. And you get like that 13 seconds reload. You can maybe turn out, maybe only take 10k damage or whatever. Bit of a misplay there. I would have waited for the Missouri to shoot, then launch the torpedoes, but it's whatever. You didn't take a whole lot of damage. You took about a third, but that still worked out in the end. You're gonna end up killing this Missouri with these nice torpedoes that go so fast. But so it's just strange to me that you would run reload. But I'm not criticizing you by running reload. It's just so out there that I didn't expect that. And that can kind of throw people off, like other cruisers. If you're going to 1v1 a cruiser, like I was saying, if you shoot and then that enemy opponent expects you to have a 13-second reload, he might try and turn out and put the engagement in his favor. But then you throw a curveball at him and shorten your reload by 5 seconds. And then now, you maybe full health delete him, or like, get him down to within 10k, whatever. You just completely throw this side ball and this fastball at him. It's like, I actually kind of like it. And to be honest, I think I might try this Zao with reload. Maybe not with RPF, because again, I'm not the biggest fan of RPF, but it actually is helping you quite immensely here in this cyclone. And I guess if you get yourself into a lot of cyclones, then it is quite beneficial. But some nice AP. Again, we are showcasing some good AP salvos here. We saw the first one at 10k, and then the follow-up at I believe 6k, and then just finish them off with some nice HE to the superstructure. So some very nice gameplay. And if you don't ever underestimate a Zao, and especially now that I've shown this replay, it's probably not the best idea. So we get a gross occur first coming in here. Again, kind of speaking of the poor turret angles, and again, major misplay here. I think you were too focused on getting those torpedoes out. Again, I would wait for the gross occur first to shoot, and then think about making your turn to fire torpedoes. Hopefully he should realize that you've got torpedoes in the water. Granted, these are very fast torpedoes, and they've got good concealment, and well, they hit like a truck. So with that being said, we get 2 torpedo hits, 2 floodings, which is nice, all in the bow area. Again, nice angling, and we're gonna end up taking this guy out. He's oddly enough flooding too, which is nice. And here I would shoot your guns first, then when you're on reload, then go ahead and shoot your torpedoes. optimization of I guess getting the most damage output for your money. So the enemy carrier gets spotted there. He is running AP dive bomber, so I guess we do have to be careful a little bit later in this game. Now, had you had defensive fire instead of hydroacoustic, I wouldn't worry at all. Zao has good AA, especially if you spec into it, even just like specking AFT or just, you know, AA range mod is actually quite beneficial for this Zao. And again, going way back all the way to this good AP and then even just this good HE. We saw a nice 8K, 8.5K salvo there, and then 9,500 on this Lexington with our AP salvo. So this has great AP that hits extremely hard. It goes extremely fast, and the same thing with the HE that goes. It goes so fast and hits very hard. It has good penetration as well. So that's again one of these ships that I didn't like previous. I wouldn't say I didn't like, but it wasn't my favorite. But now it is just incredible, and I love this ship so much. And we can kind of see this in this replay. 4 kills, 6 citadels, like nearly 300k damage, and you don't see that often. So this Lexington should be going down pretty soon here, especially with Zao AP. Shot a little bit high there, still 7k, not bad. But we'll see how this salvo turns out. So I do thank you for sending this replay, just because it was so weird to me that someone would run such a non-conventional Zao build, and I just kind of wanted to throw it out there for you guys to look at and see what other people think. And I'm definitely going to try this, and I'll try and get you guys a follow-up video on how it actually works out, and we get our Kraken Unleashed there to end the game. Alright guys, so looking at the post-battle results, we ended up with nearly 900,000 credits, 12k XP, 2k free XP, very nice. Confederate, Kraken, Dreadnought, First Blood, and then High Caliber to finish off the game. Officially 310,000 damage. I don't know if that's a record. Seeing how good the Zao is, I wouldn't expect it to be a record, but certainly I've never seen 310,000 personally in a Zao, and that's definitely above my record. So very nice job, TheDwarfLard. Great name. 5 torpedo hits, 5 kills with that Kraken, 12 fires, 6 citadels, base defend, base assisted base capture, and we had we spotted 3 people. So very nice game overall on a map that is not the easiest to play on sometimes. Trap. So looking at base XP, for 310,000 damage and 5 kills, I would have expected a little bit more base XP, to be honest. Like, come on, Wargaming, like, fix it a little bit. I would have expected maybe 3,500. But I guess we didn't, we shot, 1 destroyer, so maybe that's part of the reason why. Maybe didn't have any plane shot downs, so maybe that's why. But either way, very nice game. The other person in your division, Yamato, didn't fare as well as you, but sometimes I know this is like the case with me and Puddin. Sometimes if Puddin goes down early, then I end up carrying the game, or vice versa. If I go down early, then Puddin ends up carrying the game and has an amazing game. So maybe that's what happened here, but either way, you guys had a nice. We didn't see a lot of teamwork, but I'm sure that your Yamato buddy was helping you tank some damage while you did a lot of the damage. So I'm sure you guys played your perfected roles and whatnot. So very nice game to you guys. Detailed report. So close on the Witherer. Had we shot a little bit more HE, would have gotten it, but that's perfectly okay. We got 60k in torpedo hits, and this is with 8-kilometer torpedoes. I can't wait to play this ship with 12-kilometer torpedoes. It'll be Torpedo City once we get those 12-kilometer torpedoes on Zao. Very nice distribution. Like I said earlier, the AP is great, and so is the HE, but I really do love the ship for its AP. And with almost a million potential damage. It's not too bad in a cruiser. And overall, just a great game overall. So I do thank you again for sending it in, and thank you for everyone that sends in their replay. And I know I only picked this one and whatever, but please keep sending them in. We really do appreciate it. So without further ado, guys, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I will see you guys later.